Jacksonville Jaguars, are they good enough to win a Super Bowl? I don't know. Who the fuck am I? Well, I am Brandon Perna. This is That's Good Sports, and I'm still a little pissed that the Jags didn't beat the piss out of the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Today, I'm going to take a deep look at the Jacksonville Jaguars and try to determine whether or not they have improved enough this offseason via the draft and free agency to get to and win a Super Bowl. Can this team beat the Patriots in the playoffs? And when is somebody going to jump into that Jags stadium pool naked and smash their penis and balls against that clear glass wall for all of America to see on Sunday Night Football? Al Michaels would be all like, is somebody eating a plate of yams in the Jags pool? Oh, dear God, no, that's a flaccid penis and a very large set of testicles pressed against the pool wall. Now I've really seen it all. That's what the fans want, not another terrible Carrie Underwood song. That's Good Sports. If you're new here, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I got football videos all year long. If you've already subbed, click the notification button. And let me point out my friend, Chris Harris. No, not the Broncos, Chris Harris Jr. Chris Harris of the Harris Fantasy Football Podcast, one of the best fantasy football podcasts out there, just relaunched his YouTube channel. So go, please, check out his new revamped channel. He's going to have fantasy football videos up there all year long. Us YouTubers, we got to stick together, and I really think his fantasy football insights are well thought out. He does his research, so check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. That's what Jaguars fans scream at the stadium. Of course, to honor the most famous Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback of all time, Robert Duvall. And this season, there are really only two questions Jacksonville fans need to ask themselves. One, can the defense repeat what it did in 2017? And two, is the offense any goddamn better? The 2015 Denver Broncos defense taught me how to truly appreciate watching a dominant defense guide an NFL team through a season. That is exactly why I found great pleasure watching that Jacksonville defense dominate games in 2017. Specifically, their overtime victory against the Chargers and their 10-sack games against the Colts and the Texans. 10 sacks in a game is the equivalent of 7 passing touchdowns, just like Peyton Manning did to the Ravens in 2013. 10 sacks in a game is how you get the sweet nickname Saxonville. Now, everyone poo-pooed on Blake Bortles all the way up until the point where he defeated the Steelers, the overconfident Steelers, in the playoffs. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm no better than anybody else. I took some small shits on Bortles, like little hard rabbit turd sized shits, okay? But look, I believed in Blake Bortles early. I liked that draft pick. But my mind changed over time, and I now sort of think he is an average quarterback at best. However, if he plays smart, safe football again, takes advantage of some of his new weapons, and continues to move the chains with his legs when nobody expects it, I think he can lead this team to glory. And I'm not talking about truck stop bathroom glory holes, okay? I'm talking Super Bowl. What were the key additions and losses for Saxonville this offseason? Well, they lost wide receivers Allen Hurns and I'm living in the past. Allen Robinson, tight end Marqise Lewis, and possibly the biggest loss, slot/nickel corner Aaron Colvin. There were some other guys too, but these were the big ones. Now they added wide receiver, the count of Donte Moncrief, corner DJ Hayden, tight ends Austin Seferian Jenkins and Niles Paul, defensive backs/special teamer Don Carey, and guard Andrew Norwell. Now, this may not be the flashiest free agent class, but it addressed two huge areas of need for the Jags offense: tight end and offensive line. The tight end position had an NFL worst 43 catches in 2017 for Jacksonville. Austin Seferian Jenkins alone had more catches than that in 2017, and he did it for the god-awful Jets. 50 catches, 3 TDs, and 1 TD called back that should have counted against the ref's favorite NFL team, the fucking Patriots. Now, if he repeats those stats, Jacksonville already significantly upgraded that position. One glaring problem last year was the offensive line, specifically the left side of the line. To put it politely, Cam Robinson was terrible as a rookie, and left guard Patrick Omameh was exactly what his name stated. Meh. Oh, how did Patrick play last year? Meh. That's what everybody said, okay? And that's why it was a huge get for Jacksonville to sign Panthers guard Andrew Norwell. That's a massive improvement. A guy like Norwell knows how to provide better pockets for quarterbacks than Brett Favre's Wrangler jeans. Norwell was the best pass-blocking guard in the NFL in 2017, and next to a year of experience for Cam Robinson, the thing that will help the young tackle the most is playing next to a guy like Norwell. Blake Bortles proved he could be competent with the bad left side of the line. If that side is at least average, Bortles should see growth in passing yards and passing touchdowns this season. And unless it's a beautiful woman's hand, the best thing you can feel in a pocket is a lane to step up and throw into, and Norwell is going to help with that. My other question here is, can slot corner DJ Hayden be better than Aaron Colvin? Possibly. Okay, as a Broncos fan who lost Aqib Talib this offseason, I wanted Denver to go after Aaron Colvin in free agency. They didn't, and he signed with the Texans. His replacement, DJ Hayden, has been disappointing as a starting corner in the NFL. The upside, though, is that Hayden played his best football in the nickelback position in 2016 with Oakland. So really, his issue may have been defensive coordinators not utilizing his skill set effectively. I think Hayden has the best chance of his career to succeed in Jacksonville because of the pass rush and because he'll be playing what he's proven to be best at in the slot/nickel. However, I'm not going to say he's an upgrade, but he does have a chance to be at least as good as Colvin was in 2017. And if he's not, Jalen Myrick is a guy that in his second year, Jacksonville coaches are high on. Basically, if you draft a corner with the first name Jalen, he's going to be a star in his second year in the NFL. The Jags haven't had anything less than a top 10 draft pick in the NFL draft in 11 fucking years. So selecting at number 29 in 2018 must have been foreign to them. With their 29th pick, they took Tavon Bryan, a defensive tackle from Florida. I like the fact that they didn't select for a position of need here, and instead added depth to the strongest position group on the team, the defensive line. Keeping those monsters up front fresh, especially late in games, is a huge advantage to have for defensive coordinators and how they rotate and deploy those players. In the third round of the draft, the Jags added safety Ronnie Harrison from Alabama, again with Tashawn Gibson and Barry Take Me to Church, I Worship Like a Dog. This also was not a position of need. Harrison was probably selected because of his success covering tight ends, and he's an excellent special teams player. He gives this defense the option to play more in dime packages if the team wants, something they didn't do a lot of last season, but those were depth selections. In the second round, though, Jacksonville selected DJ Chark, who will eventually just be called the Shark after he eats up defensive backs on his way into the end zone. He's already receiving high praise in Jags camp, and as a 6'3" wide receiver who runs a 4.3 40-yard dash, he can add something this offense hasn't had since Allen Robinson was last healthy in the 90s. A legit big-bodied weapon in the passing game. Jacksonville's wide receiving group was a mess last year, which may actually benefit them this season. Marqise Lee and Keelan Cole led the team with 3 touchdowns apiece. There wasn't a single 1,000-yard receiver on the roster, but because of the Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns injuries, Keelan Cole got plenty of work as a rookie. I think he has the best chance to lead the team in receptions in 2018, and I also like DJ Chark's chances at getting a lot of playing time. I don't trust free agent acquisition Donte Moncrief, especially because of his injury history. That may be their one gaffe from the offseason, but then again, a change of scenery could help him. I don't know. Here's the point. The team was not prepared to play without Allen Robinson last year. This year they are. And Allen Hurns' injuries really set them back at the receiver position. Assuming this current group stays healthy, I expect a lot more production this year because they're expected to be the guys out there starting. And I say that completely knowing that most people are going to disregard this current group of ball catchers. Now, I didn't even mention the explosive D.D. Westbrook, who missed 2 months last year with an abdominal injury. He, like many men, tore his abs trying to fillet himself in yoga class, which has now become the most common injury for men in the world. Westbrook and Cole should be great second-year receivers, especially with the Chark pushing them for playing time. Injuries or a Blake Bortles regression is the biggest demon facing the Jags receivers. And now, let's move on to the defense. Technically speaking, it's still really fucking good. So yes, it can be just as good as it was last year, assuming one thing happens, they stay healthy. And what I mean by that is they don't lose guys to season-ending injuries, because with the depth they have, key players on that defense can miss a few games here and there, and they will not skip a beat. They have the luxury of allowing their injured players on defense to get fully healthy before returning to the field. Dominant defenses, unlike offenses, have a much shorter shelf life. This defense is right in the early, middle part of its legacy, so I am excited to watch them again. There's not a more complete unit in the league, in my opinion. From the D-line to the linebacking core to the secondary, you could argue they are the best in the NFL at all of those levels. The closest competitors are probably the Eagles and the Rams, and both of those teams have legitimate question marks with their middle linebacking groups. If Jacksonville's defense doesn't finish number 1 overall in 2018, it will be a disappointment. That's how high the expectations are. Something you're probably not used to in Jacksonville. And with pressure, could always come collapse. I don't see that happening, I'm just saying. Ask the Roman Empire, okay? And that defense really only has uncertainty at one position, slot corner. No opposing team is going to be able to beat them by throwing 40 passes at one guy on the defense, especially when Jacksonville has linebackers that are some of the best in coverage and safety options to fill those needs as well. So, can Jacksonville get to the Super Bowl? Yes, definitely. If that offense is a little bit better, this team should finish in first place in the AFC. Minus the quarterback position, and I know that's important, the Jags are far more talented all around than the Patriots and the Steelers. They're two playoff foes last year and who could be the best teams in the AFC this year. If last year was not the Jags' year, 2018 has to be. Those defensive-led team windows are small, just like Bill Belichick's heart. And unlike Bill Belichick's heart, I am hoping Jacksonville doesn't fail. That was a little harsh. I do hope Belichick lives forever, because he fucking will. We already know that. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out my website, ThatsGoodSports.com. I have merged it with my Patreon channel, so we are posting articles now in addition to monthly giveaways. So if you want to support this channel, that's where you can do it. It's how I pay my bills, okay? And I prefer not to be evicted from my home.